What's up, YouTube? We got a fun little yo-yo comparison to do today. So I am lucky enough to be able to check out the Pelican 2019 version. China Pelican, the Chinacan. Anyway, this is the Pelican that Jake had done in China. If you'll remember, the original Pelican, which dropped earlier this year, was sort of plagued with issues, unfortunately. A lot of them were trash grades. A lot of them had a lot of vibe. I did manage to get an original Pelican. Mine does have a little bit of vibe. It's a glitch. It's got the mark and everything. I think all that were this colorway were glitches. Maybe one or two weren't, but I got a glitch, which is fine. I actually really like this yo-yo a lot, and I thought it was really good. And it was unfortunate that there were so many production issues with it, that more of them couldn't be put out there. I think Jake had said that maybe only 40 or 50 of them ended up ever actually going out, which is unfortunate, because this is a really fun yo-yo, and I really like mine a lot, and I carried it a lot, and I played it a lot, and it held up really nice too, and I really like the yo-yo. But Jake sort of did a redesign, and this is it. This is the 2019 version of the Pelican that's going to be machined in China. And gotta say, right off the bat, it's a much smoother yo-yo. Absolutely, and I think that the changes and the design changes in this one better suit the goals that Jake had for the yo-yo overall, which was to sort of be an all-arounder, sort of an everyday carry kind of yo-yo. And I think the changes really suit this one more than this one. However, I do think I like the original better, at least as far as the weight and the weight distribution are concerned. And I'll throw this around too, and I'll show you what it plays like on the string. But I want to talk about that and do some comparisons at first. First thing you're going to notice is it looks like, and I might be wrong, but it looks like the rim on this one is thicker. This looks pretty thick. Now there are sort of two cuts instead of just one. I'm not sure if it's thicker, but it looks like it's a little thicker. Otherwise, the shape is pretty much exactly the same as far as diameter is concerned. And the 2019 is exactly the same width. So, pretty much the same in that regard. This feels heavier, though. Even just in your hand, this feels kind of light. This is probably about 65, 66 grams. This, probably another gram or two heavier. So, it's got a little bit extra weight. And on the string, just comparing them, throwing one next to the other, this one's smoother. It's got sort of a softer feel on the string as well, and that has to do with how smooth the yo-yo is. It just feels softer on the string. Like it's a softer string catch, I guess is the best way to put it. Like, because this one has some vibe, you kind of get, not that you can feel the vibe on the string, but it's just less of a smooth, subtle, like, is this spinning? Is it not spinning? This is really smooth. The finish is different too. This is kind of a nice powdery, very like soft bead blast, whereas this is sort of not quite as soft of a blast, but it really kind of accentuates the splash a little better, and the swirl, the G2 swirl. This one, I don't know if the China manufacturing can do the swirls. I know that when he's had them machined in China and anodized in America, Jake wasn't as happy with how the anodization turned out on the Chinese manufactured yo-yos, but who knows what's going to come of that. I'm not a mind reader. I can't see into the future, and I don't know what's in Jake's mind for that. But this black one is really nice. At first I was like, is that blue? But I think it's black. I think it's just straight black. As far as the profile is concerned, it's the same, pretty much. I mean, I don't really notice any differences. It doesn't feel that much different. The only difference that I can tell is that this feels overall heavier. That's not necessarily a bad thing if you're not, but to me, throwing them back and forth, this feels a little slower, a little more sluggish. Now, it's got a lot of benefits as well because it's longer spinning, it's more stable, and because of how smooth it is, it kind of has just more of a luxurious, smooth, velvety feel and play on the string. It's a little harder to push quick. I feel like this one was a fun, quick little yo-yo, but this kind of feels more luxurious and a little more premium, which I think was the goal that Jake was trying to hit. One of the things that I really like, I'm going to take this apart, sorry guys. One of the things that I really like about G-squared yo-yos is the attention to detail that Jake plays, particularly to the response. Notice how perfect that is. I mean, the response pad sits perfectly flush with the yo-yo. You don't realize how important that is to a yo-yo design until you get a yo-yo that doesn't sit perfect. And when it doesn't, and you feel it, and you notice it on the string, you really sort of start to appreciate and see how like nicely rounded over and smooth that is there. It's like the attention to detail there, particularly where the string meets the gap and the response, is second to none. And that's what makes G-squared yo-yos really, really great, is that Jake's really got that figured out, and he's got enough controls in place that he doesn't have issues. He knows exactly how deep the pads he's going to use are going to be, and he's got enough controls in place that that's how that he makes sure you get that nice smooth transition from pad to yo-yo, and it's excellent. It's excellent in this one. It's excellent in all G-squared yo-yos, but it's nice to see that the machine quality and the sort of testing quality is up there with this as well. Dead smooth yo-yo, perfect in that regard, and much better in that smoothness category than this one. However, like I said, I think I like the weight of the original a little bit better. But let's go ahead and throw this one around. I will show you what the new Pelican can do. All right, guys. 2019 G-squared Pelican. You know, the exact precision that you would expect out of a G-squared yo-yo in every way, shape, and form. Like I said, a little heavy, feels a little slow. That's sort of, if anything, to me, my only complaint. But, you know, if you're not wanting to play fast, and I'm not a fast player anyway, it's not a big deal. Nice and stable, long spinning, response is great. That's kind of my biggest thing that I always really like about G-squared yo-yos is Jake pays good attention to the response and makes sure that it fits in there nice and it responds good, and that's important. That's maybe the most important thing. Because you can have a great design, but if you muck up the response, you've probably got a crappy yo-yo. Great response. Show you how it regens. Very nice. Great response, like I said. Finger spins, very doable. Easy to catch, great response for that. Thumb grinds, very doable. You get in a little bit of an angle, there's no IRG. Very nimble as well. Just overall very good. Really nice, good change, and grinds better too. Better grind finish. Just good, better in every way, except like I said, I think I prefer the weight distribution of the OG. A little better, but other than that, the 2019 Pelican, hopefully there's a lot of these because production will be done in China, and hopefully the A-grade rate is pretty high. And I think because production is going to be done in China, I do think that the cost will actually probably be pretty good as well on these. Usually they end up being, what, 25 or 35 bucks cheaper, which is always good. Who doesn't like a good yo-yo at a good price? I know I do. I suck at yo-yo today. But that's going to do it for me today, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. Keep your eye out for the 2019 G-squared Pelican. But thanks for watching, guys. Cheers to you. We'll see you next time.